reading in the book of Romans. You can count one of these books as one of the prison epistles. And he speaks in Romans. Paul begins to talk to them in the 11th chapter about things that just don't seem like right.
All right now.
Now they're in the capital of Rome. They had the church made up of mostly Jewish individuals.
Oh, glory.
And a few Gentiles were
Yes,
there.
yes.
And it was a lot of them that was even slaves and freedmen. There at the Roman church, and Paul speaks to them and tries to encourage them that there's a mystery. And we understand that things go on in our lives that God, there are mysteries because God deals with man at certain times.
Yes, he does.
In certain ways.
Yes, he does.
And we call this dispensations.
Yes.
It seemed like when the Messiah was born,
All right now.
the Jews had gone away from formal envisionment and spiritual enlightenment.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That they would rather believe a lie than the truth.
Yes.
They was more on the outward show instead of the inward blessings.
Yes.
They was more natural than spiritual.
Yes.
And here, the Roman church was trying to weed out the Gentile because they was uncircumcised.
Yes. All right now. Yes.
So we read the word enlightenment means
Yes. Glory.
to give information to,
Yes.
to instruct, to make clear,
Yes.
to free from superstition.
All right now.
Enlightenment. Enlightenment says it's an act of being enlightened.
Yes.
A state of being enlightened. It's a time, even in Europe, it said they was enlightened in intellect. Revival in Europe during the 18th century. They was enlightened.
Yes.
There was a revival of education and knowledge and understanding. So there's an enlightenment.
Yes.
And so we read about this is there was a vindication of righteousness of God going on in Romans 9 through 11.
Yes.
Chapter 9 through 11. And it appears that God had rejected his people.
All right now. Yes,
And
he did.
then saying, well, what happened? They rejected the Messiah. And it seemed like God had turned away from Israel.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yes.
Hey.
But it really is Israel who has rejected the Messiah that made God turn away.
Yes.
God's rejection of Israel is only partial.
Yes.
Because there is a spiritual remnant that has trusted in Christ anyway.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It's always going to be a remnant saved.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And remember, God's turn from Israel was only temporary.
Yes.
I always say that when you see that, say there's going to be temporary destruction.
Yes.
Destruction out there on the highway, it's only temporary.
Yes.
There's going to be a few delays.
Yes.
Just temporary. This would be the time in which God was going to engraft or bring them back. So Paul began to speak to the mystery of things to the Gentiles and to the readers of Roman church that they might understand what God is doing.
Yes.
And the first thing he started in the 24th chapter, he started talking about the olive tree.
Yes.
And how the wild olive tree yet produces fruit.
Yes.
Which is to speak to concerning to the Gentiles.
Yes.
That yet they was wild, but yet God blessed them.
Yes.
Let them have righteousness. Let them get understanding. Let them believe in God.
Yes.
And then there's the good olive tree. that is known to have providence, has been nurtured, has been taken care of, and should by all means be blessed.
Yes, yes.
Why? Because their name was Israel.
Yes.
And Israel means you have favor with God.
Yes.
So they should be blessed. So Paul was spinning to speak to him. He said, even though what we're reading contrary to nature and cultivation, the olive tree is yet a blessing as a branch that might be wild, but yet they're going to be engrafted into the olive tree. It's going to be a remnant got to save. At this time, Israel might rejected the Messiah, who Jesus was, but yet God was going to bring them back, engraft them, enlighten them. This is the plan of God. It seems like all the Jews have turned their back on the Messiah. But yet this is the mystery of God, and even to us, we don't know how God is dealing in these times we deal with. We don't know. It's a lot of pressure on the church. But there's a natural branch that's being blessed. God is bringing a blast, and even said, even though we said, doing to our own brothers, we understand the ignorance of this mystery. They didn't know what was going on. He was trying to encourage the Gentiles to be wise and understand this is not an opinion. This is what God is doing. Sometimes we have people that get caught up in the blindness of the ignorance.
Oh, yes.
And we talked about darkness last week. That darkness in the Greek word told us it was kokos. Which means to be what? Ignorant.
Yeah.
And not knowing what God is doing. So Paul writes to them and to us to understand that God moves in mysterious ways.
Yes, he does.
And sometimes we don't understand what God is doing. We don't know what's going on even in the time that we live in. All we know is this is God's doing, and it's marvelous in our eyesight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we know that, but it's going like anything else. God has an expected end for us in this time we live in. God is moving by his power. Somebody read me 26 for me again.
And so all Israel shall be saved.
All right now.
It is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
Yes.
All right. And he said, now the mystery thing is, it seems to you today that he was trying to tell him, he said that Israel has rejected the Messiah, who is the Son of God, but don't be fooled.
Yes.